This is a Seat Leon FR 1.9 TDI, the 150 PD, 2005. Mark 1 Seat Leon with the steering wheel on full right lock. Over here we can see exposed is the pancake pipe. That's this funny shaped metal pipe. Now this is the one on the diesel 150 PD engine, and the 1.8T petrol, which I used to have, the Cupra. That has a slightly different shaped pancake pipe. It's got this flattened out section is actually extended on that one, but it's shorter. This one's longer and narrower and said to be more restrictive. This is the pancake pipe from the 150 PD diesel engine. That's the original one, which I had to take off because it was leaking boost. That's the inlet side, and that's the side that goes turbo intercooler. Here's the pancake pipe from the 1.8T petrol. You can see that it's a lot more area for air to kind of build up there before it gets compressed and go into the system, but this is a lot narrower and supposedly more restrictive. Now, there are people who modify the diesel pancake pipe with the petrol one, and that's what I attempted to do when my original needed replacing, because it was a lot cheaper than the original part. A new one of these from VW cost me about £130, which is what I just showed you on the car. But that from eBay costs about £40 altogether. And yeah, so because it's shorter, it needs modifying with silicone hoses before you can apply it. Okay, so that's the 1.8T pancake pipe modified with silicone hoses in these clips. That's a 60 to 70 mil silicone hose from ASH, and yeah, so that's where your inlet hose goes. That's where the hose going intercooler turbo goes, and that's where you bolt on, as you can see here. And I had to retain the bolt from the original part to put this on. And then it's a case of twisting the hoses until you can get this into place. It's really tight back there. It rubs against the drive shaft potentially. Eventually we ended up putting a cable tie through and a hole in the wheel arch on the inside behind the tire where you wouldn't see it, when that nicely held everything in place. Now, driving with it, driving around town, I could feel that the turbo was a little bit slower to spool up, and that's because it takes a moment longer for the air to fill that chamber before it gets compressed and goes into the system, whereas this, although it's restrictive, is kind of has a lower sort of drop in pressure than that. So I found that the turbo actually spools up much quicker with the original part, and when I went back to that, I preferred that feeling to how it felt in the lower rev range with the modified 1.8T pancake pipe. But the thing about it is, this blew off in higher boost, and it didn't last a day. It didn't even last an hour. And that's a common experience that people have when trying this modification. So if you need a new pancake pipe and you don't want to fork out on the £130 for the VW part, I say bite the bullet and just go for it, because I tried this modification, it didn't work. There's many other people it hasn't worked for, and it's probably wiser to just fit in the original piece, which I've now got in, and everything's good.